And he's actually going to let me ride that in a bit, but he did a first impressions video, or at least recorded. I don't even know if he posted it. He did a first impressions recording on that bike right now, but it wasn't actually his first impression. He kind of did it later, and so he wanted a more genuine thing. So he wanted me to hop on it, and I wanted to ride it anyway, so I will hop on it. Excuse me. I will hop on it. I rode it. I picked it up for him in Calgary. He lives out in Grand Prairie here where we are now. So I know what it felt like when it was, I guess, stock, even though it's old. So old stock, but still stock, you know. So I'll ride it and give you first impressions of what it's like with the new front end, the different tires, different seat, and all that sort of thing. The hand signal for the turn. Or is he pulling over? I think he might be just pulling over here to switch bikes. So here we go. I guess we're going to switch bikes. You're going to see what my bike is. I'll give you first impressions on this. So this might be a separate video here.
I thought here might be a good place to switch.
Yeah.
Then we can go. Remember the road we took my VRZ on?
Yeah.
Just up there. I just thought we could kind of acquaint ourselves on the straightaway, and then.
Yep.
By the time we get
Sounds good. There's nothing really special that you have to know about that. It's pretty standard. It's got a lot of torque.
Well, I'm sure
It's pretty smooth. Yeah.
But again, don't feel bad if you crash.
Well, feel horrible if you well, don't actually feel bad, but
if you crash, you will feel bad because your hands will be ruined.
yes, that is true because I am squitting it up today. Yeah, your kickstand is really tall.
Top heavy.
What?
It's so much heavier on the top side.
Yeah, it is. It might be a little bit to get used to, but it's not too bad. Just watch out for these rocks because it'll definitely slide.
I'll be careful.
All right, so I'm gonna do a first impression video right now. Okay. Whoa. Okay, first impressions. Seating position. Is ridiculous. This is way weird. The foot pegs are a lot more in front of me. It is definitely cool though. I do like old bikes because they have a lot of character. This thing just feels ridiculous. And the last time I rode it, it was completely stock, so it's a lot different. The throttle is typical old school motorcycle where it's really heavy. Oh. There's a lot of, I don't know if it's play is the right word, but a lot of it's really cool. It's really small feeling. Like when I rode it originally, it had like not 8 hangers, but the really tall handlebars like old bikes kind of always used. Currently the speedo doesn't work, so he pretty much just uses me. The only thing on this pod, a gauge that actually works, is the tachometer. The one thing that is quite a bit different is the front brakes are ridiculous now. A lot of slop in the clutch, typical of old bike sort of thing. But this is definitely fun, I like it. I'm not wearing gloves, so where the mirrors are on this thing are cut off, the grip, so the little short end's digging into my hand a little bit. But it just adds to the feel of this old bike. Plus, this thing gets more looks than, well, my new bike, probably any of my brother Josh's newer bikes he's had in the past. It got more looks than my dad's cruiser. Everyone walks up to this thing and either they have questions or they think it looks the coolest. Sorry about that. Back to the story. He was... It's not particularly fast, we'll say that, but it's definitely, it's not slow either. Plus, I probably wasn't revving it high enough. I don't even know what it revs to because there's no actual red line on this gauge. Anyway, the story goes he was riding with his buddy who just bought a new Harley, a used new Harley, but it's an expensive one, lots of customization, supposed to be fairly fast, whatever, blah, 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 lots of customization, stuff done to it, pipes, nice paint job or whatever if you're into that flame stuff for Harleys. And they both parked somewhere, and a guy walked up and was like, whose bike is that? And his coworker was about to start talking. He's like, or brought up, oh, that's my Harley. And he's like, no, no, the other one. So this one, I don't know, I'll have to get a quick walk around it of it maybe afterwards here. But it's definitely a cool feeling thing. You have to like hunch down to look in the mirrors. I don't know what to relate it to in the car community. But it might have the same sort of feeling as perhaps a Miata. Small, light, for a big person it's kind of a little bit undersized. But it's just ridiculously fun. I feel like if the... Now I'm scared because he just before this, I'll probably have this as a separate video, but just before this, he was riding in front of me on it. He went around the corner and he dragged his peg. So I'm really scared about going too low and dragging a peg and crashing it. But I feel like if he raises up the sets, gets rear sets, or just raises the pegs up a bit, this could be a really fun, just corner carving bike. The clutch in this does feel like it's slipping a little bit. But it's definitely a lot of fun. And actually, like, that bike is kind of top heavy, and you feel like you're riding in it. This one, you're on top of it. The top end feels light, except for the turn end is a little heavy, and that is probably due to that big old monster tire in the front there. But like I said, these bikes, the old ones, we were kind of going cafe scrambler style, so it's more, they have dirt tires on there. They're not really meant for full street and cornering. And they still have bugs to work out. Eventually we'll get there. We're probably gonna end up building a couple more motorcycles. But it's definitely cool, and like I said, you feel like you're just on top of something. And you basically are. This thing is just like a plank that you're riding on. So that will sum it up for this build breakdown slash review of one of the bikes we've built. Tune in for some more on my MT-01. I'm going to be doing a bunch of things. I want to switch on it and change. I'm going to do an intro to it, do a walk around, show you what I don't like, what I do like, and what I need to do to it. I feel like it's going to tip over here.
Yeah,
it's a slight incline on the thing. Here, wait, actually, pull up like right here. I'm going to do a walk around of it. Noob!